The Mariners lose Game 1 of the ALDS in Houston. We will walk you through the Mariners' loss.
And what WSU professor Nancy Swanger thinks about being recognized by the UN. Next on Murrow News 8.
Northwest Public Broadcasting Studios on the campus of Washington State University. This is Murrow News 8.
Good evening, I'm Reese Holmes.
And I'm Allison Martinez. Welcome to Murrow News 8.
The Seattle Mariners lose Game 1 of the American League Divisional Series against the Houston Astros. The Mariners got off to a hot start with a Cal Raleigh single scoring Julio Rodriguez in the first, and then a 3-run second inning gave the Mariners a 4-0 lead after the second. Julio and Ty France put together 5 hits and hit in 4 of the Mariners' 7 runs, but a walk-off home run by Yordan Alvarez in the 9th steals the game 1. Mariner fever is still sweeping across Pullman. Our live reporter Derek Joseph was at the Coug as the game was going on.
I'm right outside the Coug where a bunch of enthusiastic Mariners fans have packed the house on a Tuesday afternoon to watch their Mariners play the Houston Astros.
It's been a great season. You know, we got Julio, we got Cal, we got Ty, we got Jared Kelnick coming up from Tacoma. This has just been an absolutely storybook season.
The Mariners played today and Thursday before heading back to Seattle for their first playoff game in Seattle since 2001. Back to you at the desk.
If you usually park on campus, you might want to consider an alternative. Next week and next Thursday's home football game means campus parking will be closed to students and employees after 3 p.m. This change is due to accommodate fan arrival for the football's 7 p.m. kickoff against the University of Utah. A map of affected parking spots is available online.
And speaking of parking problems, RVers in RV Lot 2 might have a tough time finding space for their tow vehicles. I decided to dive into why space is tight and ways to get around it. For many, tailgating is an essential part of the Cougar football culture here at WSU. With parking lots dedicated to the RVs and mobile homes of alumni, they need somewhere to park their tow-along cars, right? Seasoned tailgaters of RV Lot 2 might recognize these vehicles behind me as the vehicles taking up your tow pass spots. But what are they doing here? And more importantly, how can we get rid of them so you can have your spots back? The cars left in that little gravel area at the back of the lot after a game weekend are all university or government-owned vehicles that are used for a bunch of reasons. They can be identified by their license plates, which feature an XMT for exempt, and the occasional pass in the windshield. However, some keen-eyed RVers noticed that some of the passes are expired, and alumni like Terry are upset that they pay so much but aren't able to use the full space during football season.
Each game weekend is $120, which, you know, for 3 days of no hookups, no water is not a cheap RV experience because we're dry camping, so, you know, we have to run diesel to keep, you know, the AC running or the heat on, and not on top of that, there's also, you have to make a financial contribution to the CAF to actually even have an opportunity to get an RV pass.
I reached out to WSU Parking and Transportation Services representative Chris Boyan to see if any of the alumni's questions or gripes could be answered.
But the demand for cars in that particular area is pretty high, and they use those cars quite a bit. So to ask them to park it way out by the Bears is you know, a little unrealistic, I think.
If a vehicle is causing a disruption, getting in contact with Parking and Transportation Services could lead to the vehicle being moved to the other exempt lot, but it's a complicated process and might not be solved in a timely fashion. Boyan also mentioned that if the tow lot is full, if RVers still have a tow pass, they are allowed to park near their RV in a designated area. Reporting for Murrow News 8, this is Reese Holmes. The White House has unveiled the application for student loan relief. The application is described as short and simple, and will be released later this month. The applications will be reviewed by the Department of Education and will run through the end of 2023. The White House says those who report false information are subject to fines and possible imprisonment.
The United Nations is recognizing WSU professor Nancy Swanger in the UN Decade of Healthy Aging 50 initiative for establishing the nation's first senior living management course at a university program. Swanger said earlier in a phone call with Murrow News 8 that she was shocked to receive the recognition from the UN, and she believes the honor will mean a lot to the growth of the program.
What we know about the structure that collapsed at a University of Idaho fraternity.
And today was the coldest of this week's forecast. How hot will it get later in the week? Diego Moctezuma has it next with weather.
1 in 3 adults has pre-diabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your favorite brother, your other brother, you, your football buddy, your football buddy, you, the boss's boss. If 1 in 3 adults has pre-diabetes, that means it could be you, your barber, your barber's barber.
Nice work.
Thanks. You, your plumber.
Breathe right into your foot.
Your plumber's masseuse.
Yes.
You, your dog walker.
On your left.
Your cat jogger. Or you, your co-pilot. Your co-pilot's co-pilot. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org to know where you stand.
It's now been 31 days since 5-year-old Lucian Mangia from Yakima was last seen. As Yakima police scaled back their efforts, the family of Lucian continues to search for their son. Lucian's family is offering a $10,000 reward for information that leads to his return. If you have any information, you can contact the number on your screen or your local police department.
Over in Idaho, 4 people were taken to Gritman Medical Center after a fort built by a frat at the University of Idaho collapsed. The structure was built as a part of Phi Kappa Tau's tradition and fell on Saturday evening with both people on and under it. After arriving at Gritman, one student was flown to Kuntenai Health in Coeur d'Alene, and another was transferred to St. Joseph Regional Medical Center. U of I spokesperson Jody Walker said the university is working with parents to get a better understanding of what happened.
It felt a little bit cooler today. Exactly how has the weather been, Diego? We're having a bit of difficulties. We'll get over to the weather wall with Diego in a minute. For now, you can just continue to look at me, but I don't got much weather to give you, unfortunately.
Awesome. Thank you, Allison. Yeah, looking at today and tomorrow's weather in Pullman. Today we got a high of 66. Again, it has been sunny and mostly clear, but then with 10-mile-per-hour winds, so it is a little windy. We got that sunset at 6:08 p.m. So today it will be low around in the 40s. Kind of same as tomorrow, as the high is 71 over there with 8-mile-per-hour winds. But then the sunset sets at 6:07, and so you got low 40s over there. Let's take a look at the Washington State map. Starting over on the west side on Seattle, we have a low of 49, but it's also sunny and mostly clear over there as well. We got a high of 66 over there. Then checking out Olympia, we got a high of 67 and low of 46. Still sunny and mostly clear over there. Let's take a look on the east. Looking over in Yakima, we got a high of 75 over there and low of 44. In the Tri-Cities, it's about 76 with the high and lows 44. Sorry about that. And then on Spokane is still highs of 71, lows 41 over there. Still sunny and mostly clear. Let's take a look at the 5-day forecast. Heading into the rest of the week and weekend, it's going to be in the high 70s, low 40s, so mostly sunny and partly cloudy. Just that's pretty much the overall conclusion. That's all I have for you guys. Thank you. Back to the desk.
Which Cougar football player won Pac-12 Freshman of the Week?
We'll let you know more next on Murrow News 8.
Let me tell you about the toughest guy on earth. He does the work of 2 jobs, but only gets paid for one. He's tough enough to feed the man that gave him a lifetime of nourishment. He has the crazy strength to lift the man that raised him up without even flinching. That's right. No employee of the month bonus check here. This guy, no, this warrior, will always be by his father's side, even if his dad will hardly remember. Good luck finding a gym to train for that. If this guy isn't the toughest guy on the planet, then I don't know who is. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
Although it was a tough loss for the Cougs on Saturday, freshman Jalen Jenkins had a standout game against the Trojans. Jenkins was named Pac-12 Freshman Player of the Week after his 13 carries for 130 yards and 1 45-yard reception. He also had the first career 100-yard rushing game by a redshirt freshman since 2016. This is the 4th Pac-12 weekly honors that the Cougs have gotten this season. The men's golf team traveled down to Corvallis to compete in the Oregon State Invitational. The team finished first place in the first round, as the team and the Cougs are on to Game 2. Juniors Preston Burdick and Jaden Cantafayo are tied for 7th on the leaderboard with a score of 1 under. The second day of the Oregon State Invitational started this morning, and W Athletics is still waiting results. It's playoff season for the Mariners, although today wasn't very fun. After beating the Blue Jays, the M's are playing in the ALDS series against the Astros. The Mariners announced for the times for the rest of the series. Go ahead and take a look at your screen for those times. The Mariners also announced that Luis Castillo will be pitching on Game 2 on Thursday.
Fat what week? How Alaska is preparing bears for hibernation.
Next on Murrow News 8.
I hate to say it, but Fat Bear Week is officially coming to a close. If you didn't know, Fat Bear Week is a single elimination tournament that celebrates the success of bears bulking up in preparation for hibernation. 2 bears are currently going head-to-head in the finale, which ends at 6 p.m. tonight.
So disappointed about Fat Bear Week. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you missed any
social media channels. Have a great night.